Hi, Spencer here at Classic Violins in the workshop to answer a question that we get quite popularly, which is about the pegs on your instrument. Now, this question gets asked in many different ways, and the general crux of the situation is, why does my instrument go out of tune, or why don't my pegs hold? Well, to answer this question, we need to consider the construction and the physics of violin family instruments a little bit. Violins, violas, cellos are all made, of course, out of wood, as are the pegs of your instrument. As the seasons change, and especially in the Midwest, where we have 4, sometimes 2 very distinct seasons every year, the wood will tend to either absorb moisture or release it as the humidity and temperature goes up or down. This being the case, the wood will actually expand or shrink slightly. Now, pegs on a violin family instrument are not like pegs on a guitar, which are geared and hold by themselves because of the force of the gear teeth. Violin pegs are held in place only by friction. And as the wood expands or contracts, what will happen is that the pegs may suddenly lose that friction and come out of good locking alignment into the peg holes. You can see in this case I have just loosened this peg on the D-string peg here, and without pushing it and seating it into the peg box itself, if I turn the peg up to put it under tension and then let go, it springs back into place. No matter what I do, no matter how I turn this peg, it won't hold by itself. What needs to happen in this case, and this is very common, is that the peg simply needs to be reseated. Remember, these pegs only work on friction, the friction of the peg shaft touching the surfaces of the peg box. In order to seat this, we need to apply a little bit of pressure into the peg box. Think of it kind of like turning a screw. In this case, I'll put a little bit of inward pressure, not too much, but just a little bit. Now when I turn this peg, you see that with the string under tension, I can turn it and it holds. And I can turn the string up to pitch or thereabouts. This is a really common problem that people will come to us with all the time, complaining that their pegs maybe aren't working or aren't holding. And it turns out that in many cases, the pegs, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, they're just not seated into the peg box. So next time your instrument is going out of tune frequently, or you have other issues with tuning slipping, check to make sure that your pegs are physically seated into the peg box. If you're having trouble with this still, or you're uncomfortable maybe performing this work yourself, bring it to us here at Classic Violins. We'll be happy to get you sorted out for it. And thank you for your attention to this video. We hope to do a whole series of these. If you have any ideas or questions yourself regarding to instrument construction, maintenance, history, what luthiers do here in the workshop, music in general, we'd love to hear from you. Please write and comment in, and we'll be answering your questions in future videos. Thank you very much for watching.